Imagine being told that the life growing inside you, the child you've come to love and cherish, is not yours to keep. Now imagine being pressured to hand over your baby, not to strangers, but to your own sister. This is my story. Growing up in a traditional household, family values were deeply ingrained in me. My parents held strong beliefs about duty, honor, and the importance of maintaining appearances. As the eldest daughter, I was expected to set an example, to follow the path they had meticulously laid out for me. But life, as it often does, had other plans. I was 22 when I discovered I was pregnant. The father was someone I had been seeing for a short while, but our relationship was far from stable. When I broke the news to him, he vanished, leaving me to face the consequences alone. Fear, anxiety, and a whirlwind of emotions consumed me. But amidst the chaos, a tiny heartbeat echoed within me, reminding me that I wasn't truly alone. Breaking the news to my parents was one of the most daunting tasks I've ever faced. I rehearsed countless scenarios, hoping for a sliver of understanding or support. But when the words finally left my lips, the room grew cold. My mother's face paled, and my father's jaw tightened. The disappointment in their eyes was evident. "This is unacceptable," my father finally spoke, his voice laced with anger. "What will people think? How could you be so careless?" Tears welled up in my eyes as I tried to explain, to seek solace in their embrace, but they had already made up their minds. "You can't keep this baby," my mother said firmly. "It's for the best." I was stunned. The idea of giving up my child was unbearable, but what they proposed next left me speechless. "Your sister Emily has been trying to conceive for years," my father began. "She and her husband are stable, financially secure, and more than capable of raising a child. It makes perfect sense." Emily was 7 years older than me and had been married for 5 years. She and her husband had faced numerous fertility challenges, and I was aware of their struggles. But the thought of handing over my baby to her felt like a betrayal to both myself and my unborn child. "Think about it," my mother urged. "The baby would still be in the family. You'd get to see them grow up. It's a win-win." But it didn't feel like a win to me. It felt like I was being erased from my own child's life. I tried to voice my concerns, but they fell on deaf ears. The pressure was immense. Family meetings were held without my consent. Plans were made, and I felt like a mere spectator in decisions about my own life. Emily approached me one evening, her eyes filled with a mix of hope and pity. "I know this is hard for you," she began, "but please understand how much this would mean to me. We've tried everything, and this might be our only chance." I sympathized with her pain, truly, but this was my child, my flesh and blood. The bond I felt was indescribable, and the thought of parting was agonizing. Days turned into weeks, and the pressure mounted. My parents threatened to cut me off financially, to disown me if I didn't comply. They believed they were acting in everyone's best interest, but they couldn't see the turmoil they were causing. I sought refuge in friends, counselors, and support groups. I needed clarity, guidance, and most importantly, support. Through these channels, I met other young mothers who had faced similar challenges. Their stories resonated with me, and I realized that I wasn't alone. One story in particular stood out. A young woman named Lisa had been coerced into giving up her child to a family member. Years later, she grappled with regret and a sense of loss that never faded. Her experience was a cautionary tale, one that I couldn't ignore. Armed with newfound determination, I confronted my parents. "I understand your concerns," I began, my voice steady, "but this is my child, and I have the right to make decisions about our future. I appreciate your input, but I won't be giving my baby away." The room was thick with tension. My father looked away while my mother fought back tears. "I hope you can support me in this journey," I continued, "but if not, I'll find a way to manage on my own." It wasn't easy. The road ahead was filled with challenges, financial strains, societal judgments, and the daunting task of single parenthood. But every kick, every flutter from within, reminded me of the life I was fighting for. Months later, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Holding her in my arms, I knew I had made the right decision. The love I felt was overwhelming, and I couldn't imagine life without her. Over time, my parents came around. They fell in love with their granddaughter, and while our relationship had been strained, we began to rebuild the bridges that had been burned. Emily and I had heartfelt conversations, and though there were moments of tension, we found a way to support each other. This journey taught me the importance of standing up for oneself, of listening to one's heart amidst the cacophony of external voices. It's not always easy, and the path is often lonely. But the rewards, the smiles, the giggles, the unconditional love are worth every battle fought. To anyone facing similar challenges, know that you are not alone. Seek support, trust your instincts, and remember that your voice matters. If you found this story resonant or know someone who might benefit from hearing it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Sharing our experiences can create a community of understanding and support. Thank you for listening.